Have you heard the news? The Ultimate Warrior is back in WWE 14. But did you know that the Ultimate Warrior actually made his WWE comeback in wrestling game terms back in WWE Allstars, which is the game I'm going to be showcasing in this video. A classic match, 480s superstar, and some historical commentary too. So our third match for today's Wrestling Wednesday takes us to WWE Allstars on the PS3, and we have gone 80s crazy here as Hulk Hogan takes on Randy Savage, takes on Andre the Giant, takes on the Ultimate Warrior in an elimination match. Now this was a wrestling game, perhaps I think sadly a little bit overlooked by quite a lot of the serious gamers. I mean, don't get me wrong, this game is a complete joke with its overinflated physiques, crazy moves that you're about to see. But beneath the cartoony surface, there's actually quite an in-depth gameplay here. There's some crazy combos that you can pull off. You can have some genuinely exciting, albeit short, matches. But I think it's the kind of game that actually has more in common with something like Street Fighter and Tekken than it actually does with something like WWE 13, apart from the fact, of course, that it does have some of your all-time favourite WWE wrestlers in there, or WWF wrestlers as well. Now, one thing, I was reading a really nice article this week, which I'll try and link to in the description, talking about WWE and forgiveness, the fact that everyone comes back, and they were talking about how the recent adverts for WWE 14 has the Ultimate Warrior in it, and saying how he's some guy that's been kind of like blackballed by the WWE for years, and they swore they'd never work together again. They've even made DVDs and gone through lawsuits, you know, talking about how much they hate each other and stuff. And yet here we are, the Ultimate Warrior is back, albeit in advert form, part of the WWE family, and perhaps the Hall of Fame recommendation may not be that far behind. But the person that made the article kind of said, well, everyone comes back. Hogan came back after going to WCW, Brock Lesnar came back after going to UFC. Everyone comes back except the Macho Man Randy Savage, and to an extent he's right. And of course, and with the unfortunate death of Randy Savage, we'll never know if they ever would have any kind of reconciliation. But the closest they came, as Hulk Hogan pulls off an amazing reversal in midair there, was this game, because Randy Savage did do an advert for this game and appeared in this game, licensed, and of course would have received royalties for it. So this was as close as we came to the Macho Madness returning to the WWE, as Macho goes up and hits the elbow on Hulk Hogan, and unlike WrestleMania 5, the Hulkster will not be hulking up out of this. I stand corrected! I stand corrected! Hogan shaking his mouth and doing his genuine hulking up routine. Now, of course, the Ultimate Warrior is far too old now to make a kind of in-ring comeback, but it will be interesting to see if he does get a Hall of Fame invite next year or in the year coming, because I'm sure there are many, many fans, as Andre destroys the Macho Man, that would love to see a kind of Ultimate Warrior highlights, and be able to kind of relive some of their youths, as Randy Savage catches Andre the Giant in midair and flips him over, as Hulk Hogan has been eliminated by the highest gorilla press known to man. Randy Savage reversing a chokeslam in midair, drop kicking Andre the Giant, countering the Ultimate Warrior, but Andre the Giant just too strong, and both of them getting slammed to the mat. Now this game also has types of character, which works quite nicely. Andre is obviously a big type. I think Macho Man's a high flyer, which means he can flip off the ropes and stuff. Ultimate Warrior is a brawler, but what that means is that they all have special strengths and special weaknesses. For example, it's very nearly impossible to block Andre's punches, for example, and actually some of his grapples are uncounterable as well. But of course he's very, very slow and struggles to kind of move around the ring. I'm not even sure if he can climb the ropes and things like that, where of course Randy Savage will sprint around like crazy. He can flip, he can, as he will nicely demonstrate here by elbowing the Warrior in the face. In fact, he may have actually just eliminated the Warrior with that elbow. 1, 2, 3, so we're down to Andre versus the Macho Madness. Up goes Randy Savage, kicking him to the floor. He's got 2 specials, so hopefully we'll now see the double axe handle from the top rope. Randy Savage climbing on top and pounding the life out of Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant, of course, died in 1990 after a very successful wrestling career. Sadly, the years in which he was most remembered by the modern era, or the years I most know him from, he was way, way past his best. But he was a decent worker once upon a time. But not today, as Randy Savage makes it a clean sweep to be our All-Stars Wrestling Champion. If you've enjoyed this little look back at some classic wrestlers on a decent game, and then do give the video a like and do subscribe, and check back every Wednesday for Wrestling Wednesdays on TheAdiposeTV. Take care, and I'll see you soon.